Hi, Jamie. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this Skype interview with me. Now, you're the founder of an incredible business that I got introduced to called Kids at Switch,
Yes.
which focuses on teaching children financial literacy as well as entrepreneurial leadership skills.
Yeah.
And I was really inspired by your vision and your dedication to foster creativity and imagination in kids, as well as teach them all these vital components that will assist them to achieve their dreams.
Mhm.
Now what also caught my eye was the age group that you target. Now, you might know that Be Who You Want to Be is dedicated to actually empowering kids of that particular age group to achieve their potential and become inspired leaders. So your vision is something I definitely wanted to showcase based on that. So what I'd like to do is ask you a few questions
Mhm.
so I can give the audience, I guess, an idea of what Kids at Switch is about and how you came about creating it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Cool. So my first question is, I guess, can you share a little bit about who you are and your background?
Okay, so um, I'm from Taiwan, so that's my background, and I immigrated to Australia when I was in year five.
Okay.
And my parents actually got divorced when I was about year seven. So my mom was a single mom, so she brought my sister and I up just all by herself. But throughout my schooling, I've never questioned her. I've never seen my mom work pretty much in my entire life in Australia. So that's more than 10 years.
Right.
And I've never questioned her anything. But once I hit high school, my friends started asking me questions. She's like, what does your mom do? Because I went to a really good private school in Sydney, same as
Mm-hmm.
my sister, and the fees is actually pretty high. So my friends started asking me, saying, "Oh, what is your mom? What do your mom do? Like she never works. She always in cafes. She always go out." So I started to get really curious. So one day I went home. I started asking my mom questions, and I realized that my mom's very savvy with her money, even though my dad doesn't support us at all. But she knows how to manage her money. So
Mm-hmm.
she didn't work for more than 10 years, raised two girls up all by herself. Yeah, so I thought to myself, how come I never get taught about this kind of concepts? Because mom self-taught herself too,
Right.
and teach others the way we've been taught. And she's never, like her mom never taught her how to manage her money. So she didn't really know how to teach someone else, even though she's really good at it. And I love teaching. Through that, I was like, no, this is an essential life skill set that I have to pass on to my students. And I guess that's how I started. My mom was my role model, and I guess I learned from watching her as well. So yeah.
Great, thank you. So that kind of, I guess, led into my next question, which was, I guess, how you came to develop the vision Kids at Switch and what inspired you to do that. So it seems like your mum was kind of your inspiration for that. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, and also I guess my godmother as well. My godmother's my mentor, and she owns an international company. So just by spending time with people from that kind of environment, not like a corporate world, but people who are very financial savvy, I've realized that the way they treat money is quite different to
Mm-hmm.
my other group of friends. My other group of friends, they save and all they want to do is to get a good career.
Right.
A lot of them work at a very good financial firms and they just want to work their way up, but they're not necessarily happy. So
Right.
I guess I hang around with two groups of people, but what I want to really do to provide for these kids is to use their passion to earn a living. I guess that's what I really want
Mm-hmm.
these kids to be able to have.
Great, that's fantastic. Well, that leads into my next question. Um, so my next question is, I guess, if you can you share in a little bit more detail what the kids are learning through the courses that you offer at Kids at Switch?
So I've created this mini economy within Kids at Switch. So it's like in the real world, when the kids come here, they actually apply for a job according to their interests and their passion. So this job serves two roles. First, it allows the kids to understand what is it like to have a regular income and to work for a job. And the second purpose is to allow me to tap into these kids' interests and passions straight away. So I had kids who applied for photographers or a writer. So I recently just launched a book with one of my students. She co-authored a book with me.
Wow.
Because I found out that she loves to write through the job. So every week when they come here, they perform these jobs and receive play money, or the older one receive paychecks. And they created their own money boxes, so labeling, sharing, spending, saving, and they put their money in those boxes. And the older one, they can put their money in the bank, so watch their interest grow. So I have banking shops in my classroom.
Right.
So it's like a real monopoly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the thing is, when the kids come to my class, they have to pay for the chairs that they sit on.
Wow.
And if they don't pay, they sit on the floor. So the chairs are their daily expenses, like renting a house.
Right.
If kids have enough money, they can actually buy the chairs from me. And I've got a lot of students now, they bought more than one chair and they're renting the other ones out. So
Wow.
it's at a higher price. So the kids as young as 5 and 6, they understand the concept of investing in their chairs so that they can earn a second source of income. And just because I believe kids learn best through play.
Yes.
So to them, they think they're playing.
Yes.
From what I've observed, they are learning such a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then when they have enough money, they can actually buy shops from me where they can really practice their entrepreneurial skills. They can sell things to their friends, but they have to buy resources from me.
Right.
Otherwise, they get taxed,
Right.
export tax, if they bring things from home because they don't get to spend their money.
Right.
So I actually tax kids here as well. I tax them income tax, export tax, property tax.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the kids, they actually understand the concept of tax. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I've never heard of before I guess I got introduced to your business. I never heard of something like that for kids at that age. I think it's amazing because personally I feel that kids, just like you, they learn a lot through play, and particularly kids at that demographic, they tend to absorb information a lot faster and tend to understand the concept much more easily. There's less baggage to kind of get in the way to stop them from dealing with it or understanding it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm listening to this going, oh god.
I think even adults should play more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we could learn a lot about it. I mean, the one thing that really kind of got me a little bit excited was when you said, some of the kids have bought lots of different chairs and they're renting them out and actually making money off the chairs that they bought, which I think is quite amazing for young kids to be doing something like that.
Yeah. So it's teaching about self-control as well. And I think willpower is one of the success people. They have very good self-control and willpower. And that's what I want to instill in these kids as well. If they can wait, not to spend anything at the shop, but wait to accumulate their income so that they can buy chairs. I found that really amazing.
Wow.
Especially, I have so many temptations in my shops. I have toys, I have chocolates, I have lollies, I have Angry Birds, Legos, all these things that they can buy.
Right.
But yeah, so it's teaching about delayed gratification.
Right.
And I think it's a very important concept for kids to learn.
Great. That's awesome. Well, you talked a little bit about the entrepreneurial side of it. So in what ways do you teach or cultivate the entrepreneurial and leadership skills in the children that you work with?
Well, because they can buy shops. So once I've seen a lot of young kids because I share with them about entrepreneur stories, and they get really inspired. And these little kids, they say they all want to be entrepreneurs. So sometimes I do have events, like the first event we had was a fundraising event. So the kids created their own everything. They created their own lemonade stands. So they sold lemonade cupcakes, lemonade. They made bookmarks. They created games. So it's like a little market store in my classroom. And then they invited all their friends. I invited my friends. They invited their parents. So it was a very successful event. That was our first one.
Right.
And then the second one, we actually got sponsored by another business. So we were selling things. The kids were selling things, origami cards. They made it themselves outside the shopping center. So the first one was for people that they know. But the second one is really pushing their confidence because they have to talk to people, connect with people that they've never met and try to sell their things. We didn't make profit for that one, but I think that was a very good learning experience. And just from that, given the taste of what it feels like, and I've got one student who's 8, he created his own website.
Wow.
Now he's asking his dad to put a shopping cart onto his website so that he can sell things.
Wow.
So I think for me, I'm only a mentor and a coach to provide them with experiences, and then later on they can build on when they go home. So I've never given any homework or tests, but I'd rather give them something that I can think about when they go home.
Right.
And just from what I've heard from the parents, often when they go home, they want the parents to open an online store, they want Facebook pages, they want all these different things. They already have so many ideas that they want to do.
That's amazing. I mean, one of the reasons why I started my business was because I believed that young kids have the potential to change the way we live in the world. That's a reason why I want to focus on that and on the younger demographic. And just what you're saying, how they want to just go and open these Facebook pages and sell stuff online and do all these crazy things. Like a lot of kids nowadays are doing that anyway. So I think it's great that you're giving them, the tools that they can go and use when they go home and actually start building businesses or building ideas. It gives them really the space to expand their mind, what you're doing.
Yeah, especially kids, they don't really, from what I've observed, they don't really have fears.
No.
Yeah, so when we had the Lemon and Love fundraising event, I had 3 girls literally just call publishing editors, newsletter companies, and ask them to write about what they're doing. So I kind of helped them a bit. So it was featured at the local newspaper.
Wow.
And I found that really amazing how they just, for us adults, I have fears. Sometimes I have to do cold calling. I was just like, I don't want to do that.
That's
but
true.
the kids, they have no fears. They just pick up my phone and started calling everybody.
Amazing.
So I guess for me, I learn from them as well, and learning is very reciprocal.
Yes.
When you're teaching something, it's so open-ended. So I think I've grown a lot just by teaching these kids as well.
That's amazing. I mean, just what you're talking about it resonates so beautifully with my own personal vision, just in terms of the kids you're working with. But just what you said now is that the collaboration, where you're learning something from them as much as they're learning something from you. That's something I really wanted to promote through my business. I believe that adults have a lot to learn from children. And I guess if we could open that space up more, we could probably have a much more connected form of communication and relationship that we have with the kids that we're engaged with right now. So cool. That's very, very exciting.